You are watching ILFL Soccer Nights.
Sponsored by Mashuri এবং Hawk and Eagle.
Welcome, we're back with your Soccer Night show sponsored by Meshri and Hawk and Eagle. Meshri, don't think I haven't forgotten about you, and I haven't spoken about you for a few weeks, but the end of the year has come in and the taste buds are warming up. Let's look at now a Premier Division game now that we need to see. It's the game between London Tigers and Bromley, and after an impressive result against the league champions last week, Bromley were now looking to take on the First Division champions, and if they could win that game, they would close the gap to within 2 points. We sent our cameras down there to record these highlights for you, so run the VT.
It was quite a difficult game. First half it was quite tough, very physical. Bromley are always a tough team, so we always know that. But I think we came here with the attitude that we're top of the league and we have to show that we're capable of keeping ourselves up there. And I think today, with the result, you can see that. I mean, that was our tactics really, is to get in there pretty quick and try.
London Tigers doing what probably we all expect them to do, but we probably didn't expect them to put 6 past Bromley, who were probably pretty poor on the day. 6-1 London Tigers. Let's have a look at some of the other results that happened in the Premier Division yesterday as well. Running from the top, Brick Lane and Sire played out a 7-goal thriller, but Brick Lane won it by the odd goal, 4 goals to 3. That was really helpful for them and helped bounce them a couple of places up the table. Ireland similarly beating Cannon by 3 goals to 2. Cannon, one-hit wonders. You were there at the beginning of the season and all the talk was about you, and now you can't buy 3 points. And now look where you're sitting in the table. Tigers beating Bromley by 6 goals to 1. Newark, their impressive turnaround continues. They've lost 2-0 to Stepney, but I'm sure it would have been a lot more at the beginning of the season. Result of the day then for you, Rush?
Very disappointed with Bromley. They knew how big the importance of the game was, the result was, and I think looking at the footages and the highlights, it showed that Tigers were more hungry, and they knew a win would obviously create a big gap and obviously head towards the championship. So very disappointed with Bromley not making a more of a fist and a fight of the game itself. To lose 6-1 is quite embarrassing for a team of that calibre. A contender, championship contender, to lose 6-1 is very disappointed. The other result, I think, Sire and Brick Lane. Sire were actually winning 3-1. Brick Lane came back. So, again, I said that a few weeks, they're one of the dark horses, Brick Lane. They can beat anyone on the day. They came back, injury time, to score the winning goal and beat them 4-3. That's the 3rd time they beat Sire. They beat them in the Cup, they beat the first fixture, and obviously they beat them again. So, credit to Brick Lane for coming back and getting some good results. And Sire, unfortunately, is not looking good for them.
Just when they thought they were getting their show back on the road again. And for you, Cameras, I mean, it's a gap now at the top between Tigers and the rest, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this was Bromley's chance really to make amends and get close. The score is a bit flattering, 6-1. The game wasn't, I think, as open and as far as that. But having said that, you saw on the footage, most of the goals were tap-ins. Ironically, the unit that conceded the goal for defence was for Bromley was the defence, but they were the hardest working 4 players out of the team. They run their socks off, those 4 defenders, but the fitness of Tigers just run them ragged really. The team is mega fit.
And here it is, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, and here's the table to show why Tigers are top. Out of 11 games, they've won 8 of them. They've lost 2, but they've got 25 points, and the tables don't lie. Stepney are right there behind them with a 6-point gap at this stage of the season now. It's all about catch-up for the new year. Bromley in 3rd place, Brick Lane chasing them now, but Bromley do have a game in hand over those around them. And down at the bottom, Newark, Sire and Beaumont, all 3 teams are within and amongst each other. We're not going to talk too much about it because there are games to come next week now, this Sunday, which could play a significant role in what happens down there at the bottom. Let's start with the Beaumont-Bromley game now. Bromley will be smarting from a 6-1 defeat, and they'll be looking to hit back against the Beaumont side who desperately need the points now.
I think, yeah, it's a game that Beaumont must win. They've got a couple of games in hand, but at the end of the day, they need the points. So having games in hand makes no difference. So hopefully Bromley are still injured from the game they lost with Tigers. And
I think arguably this is probably the biggest game in the division on Sunday, Beaumont-Bromley.
For Beaumont is a massive game, so they need the 3 points desperately. So come on the day, they have to get those 3 points.
And Bromley want it to stay in touch if they can. Tigers take on Brick Lane. You've heard Rush talking about Brick Lane, and is it going to be the Brick Lane that turns up and puts in a performance, a dark horse performance against Tigers, or are Tigers going to look to keep the gap that they've got at the top of the table? Newark versus Cannon as well, Cameras. I mean, Newark started poorly, and now they're coming back, and Cannon are going exactly the opposite direction.
Well, Newark's now got the momentum, whereas Cannon are sliding down. They're looking down rather than up. I think Brick Lane need a special mention there. They're doing very well. with all respect to the team and the players, they have a very humble team. And for them to be sitting mid-table and challenging the big boys there, I think well done on the guys. And Hasnat, their young manager, is doing a great job. So well done to him too.
And the last game there, Sire versus Stepney, and if form is anything to be going by, it would be fair to say, should we stick our necks out and just say a Stepney win?
Unfortunately, we'll have to say that Stepney will beat Sai easily, unless Sai, if you're watching, do something this Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah, they lost the lead this Sunday, didn't they, against Bricklane? They were winning 3-1.
3-1 and they lost 4-3.
And then what a comeback.
Well then, Sai, to your credit, then you must have been doing something right. You play good football, you're organised, there's just something that's missing, and if you can find it in your game against Stepney, then maybe you could make it more interesting than what the panel are suggesting up here. Nanu Mia is in the studio. Good evening, Nanu.
Evening.
I know you're here to talk about all things Vet League, and that's going to come in the next section.
That's
but
right.
let's just give us a 10-minute sweetener of what to expect.
In the Veterans League, definitely. Again, tight week. Very tight games. Not many goals scored. Bernardo and BYM, that's probably the highlight. Rashid wouldn't argue with that one.
Yeah. I think it's the game of the week, game of the month so far.
It was game of the month so far. I mean, Bernardo's came in full of confidence, along with Rashid's predictions as well, that they're going to win, against BYM's determination to win. And guess what happened? Determination won.
Determination won. We're going to
That's
talk
right.
about it in the next section of the show. And we've also got some news to tell you about in the final section of the show. Cameras is going to explain all of that to you right after Nanu and his beaming smile have rained down on Rashid. We'll see all that happen in the next section of the show, so don't go away.
You are watching ILFL Soccer Nights.
Sponsored by Mashuri এবং হোক অ্যান্ড ইগল।